day, ladies and gentlemen. I got another king on the RNG radio show. But before we get into all that, I got to run through his bio here, real quick one for me. So, he is a man of many dreams and diverse talents with nearly 20 years of federal government experience and more than 16 years spent with HR. He has proudly trained over 45,000 employees across federal agencies on various workforce, professional, and career development related topics. He specializes in adding value to the lives of others. Adding to this, being a 5-time author and speaker, he is highly sought after for many different reasons. He is the founder of Serve4Men, an organization whose mission is dedicated to helping males better themselves personally and professionally. The organization does that through one-on-one coaching, group coaching, meetups, and other programs and services. Over the years, he has proudly helped thousands of people, particularly in the area of protecting themselves, their families, and everything that matters most to them. His passion and purpose are to equip others to unleash their greatness from within. However, his proudest accomplishments are being happily married and being a father to 5 amazing children. His life motto is simple: serve to be a blessing to others, seek excellence, respect, value every day. Ladies and gentlemen, author and speaker, trainer and facilitator, talent consultant, Reginald Gant. Reginald, thank you, King. Appreciate your presence being on the show, man. How are you doing today?
Daniel, I'm fantastic. I thank you for the warm welcome and opening, and I just wish that I could take you on the road with me as my hype man. I feel like I'm important now.
Well, I feel like after your first 1,000 employees that you have trained, you should already feel that importance, man. You've already feel that importance. So listen, man, I'm honored for you to be on the show. But what I definitely want to start off with is legal services, and I know that's a big passion of yours. How old were you when you decided to protect your family, and what was your reasoning behind that decision, even just to, delve into the world of legal services if you can?
Yeah, such a fantastic question, man. So, somebody introduced me to legal services crazy, when I was in my mid to late 20s. And it's actually the young lady who's now my wife. Um, she and I met, to discuss some other joint ventures. And she asked me, some probing questions, was I working, did I have a place, did I have any children? And at that time I did have I was a single dad, I had one daughter. Um, and she said, hey, you ever got your wills done? You ever got your estate planning done? And, those kinds of things. And I'm looking at it sideways because I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm a young man.
Right, I'm good.
And I don't really think that that's what young people do.
Right.
And then she took some time and she educated me. So I probably was somewhere between the ages of 25, maybe to 29, Daniel. And once I educated myself and I realized how important it was, and especially me being a single dad at that time, knowing that if something were to ever happen to me, that I had a minor child, I wanted to make sure that I took care of those things, man. So after she introduced it to me, I turned around and I introduced it to my parents and my family and my friends. And, I've been doing it ever since, to be honest. And I'll be 43 in a couple of days. So, we've been doing it for quite some time now.
Happy early birthday. If y'all don't do anything, make sure that you wish this man a happy birthday. So that needs to be in the comment section. Thank you for that, man. So tell me a little bit more about the business. How does it work? Because a lot of people hear about wills and estate planning and they think about that. They think like, what? I'm not going to need to worry about this. I'm going to be like 65, 75, old and gray with a cane on, and, it comes sooner than most. So can you deep dive further as far as the importance behind wills and estate planning?
Absolutely. So, first and foremost, I want everybody to know that what I found to be true in this life, Daniel, and maybe you found the same, is that 10 out of 10 of us won't make it.
Yeah.
We won't get out of life alive. So that means that sooner or later, our eyes, they will close for the last time. So my passion and, why I offer this service comes from the simple fact is that I want that last will and testament, that last love letter to your family to be one that's memorable, one that's important, one that's special, and one that you take care of while you actually still have life in your body. Because what I've seen too often, especially in our community, in our Black and brown communities, is that when an individual passes away, and sometimes it's suddenly, especially with the way that we live today, you find many folks in their 20s and 30s actually leaving this life a lot earlier than they expected. A family now has to grieve and figure it out at the same time. And I no longer have a desire to see families grieve and figure it out at the same time. If we can just go ahead and take care of the end of life matters now while we have sound mind, while we have good health. And when I came across the vehicle that my wife and I use, and when I realized how easy it was, how affordable it was, and how timeless it was, it just made sense that not only did we do it for ourselves and our own family and, you know, share it with those that we love, but that we share it with everybody, because everybody deserves to have peace of mind, protection, and a plan in place when life happens, Daniel.
That's, you know, we talk about missions a lot, you know, and what we set for the future. And I love the stuff that you're doing because it's not just impacting, you know, one individual or one family, but generationally.
Absolutely.
Because now it's the children who are 8 to 10 years old are realizing, like, oh, this is how I'm going to need to prepare for life. I remember my family talk about wills and estate planning because other individuals of different backgrounds, of different creeds, have already been talking about this. They
Absolutely.
know about this going into seventh and eighth grade. So yeah, getting the more education around it and being that leader and voicing it, you know, hats off to you, man. So thank you for that. Now, because our community, and I'll be honest, everybody's looking for a discount. What is typically the cost behind it? Because I know the first thing is like, oh, well, I gotta get paid first, or you know, I gotta wait till the end of the month. I'm waiting on this social security check, disability check.
Absolutely.
There's always an excuse as far as what type of money is coming in. Can you break down as far as the cost and the simplicity and ease behind it?
Absolutely. Fantastic question again. I remember when my wife and I we first got married back in 2015. And we just decided to shop the market and see, you know, what it would cost us to get our estate planning done, you know, off the shelf from someone else. And what we were finding, Daniel, and this was, you know, obviously, so we talking about 9+ years ago. At that time, they were talking about $1,500 per person. So we're talking about 3,000, right? So then I've started to do a little bit more research, you know, and I also found that you can get wills and estate plans done for as little as $800 to $900 per person, right? But what I love about the service that we offer, Daniel, is that an individual or a married couple, and you don't even have to be married, it can just be your significant other. So you can be married or have a significant other, and you both can get the wills, the last will and testament, the living will, as well as your medical and financial directives for less than $360 total. And when you break that down, we're talking about $29 and some change per month. So we're talking about, you know, just about $1 a day a person who really cares about their family can actually get it done.
That's amazing. You know my next question. How can folks get in contact with you? Where can they find you at on social media? But yeah, those that want to definitely get it started today, how can they get in contact with you, man?
Absolutely. So if they wanted to contact me on social media, I'm not hard to find at all. On my LinkedIn and on Facebook, it's my name. It's Reginald Gant. That's Gant. And yeah, and I'll share with you, you know, my email. Maybe we can, you know, share that on the back end as well. But social media, Facebook and LinkedIn are my primary resources. Reginald Gant, Gant. I am on IG occasionally. That's at Reggie Serves. So that's one word, Reggie Serves, Serves.
Great. Awesome, man. Awesome. Now, us as well as everybody else, let's just say the average person. The average person is going to feel that, you know, legal services aren't something that they really need. What is typically your response to that? Because I'm pretty sure the same question that you had for when you were looking at it, others are asking the same thing. I'm too young, man. I ain't worried about that, or that's not going to happen to me, or you know what my life is projected for? I'm good. What do you typically say to the naysayers that feel like, oh,
Absolutely. So,
now
you
not for
know,
me?
I love it. I love that, you know, because when you think about people like Oprah, right? People like Tyler Perry, people like LeBron James, obviously they don't sign anything, right? Until they have their legal counsel take care of it, right? So why should only the rich and wealthy have access to wise counsel, right? The Bible says that, you know, everyone should have access to wise counsel. So when you think about some of the things, some of the everyday matters as to why we might need legal services that people tend to overlook. Just yesterday, for example, prime example, I'm going to pick up my son from baseball practice, and there was a detour, and I realized the reason why I couldn't go the way that I normally go as I peeked ahead was because a tree fell down on an MTA bus that just happened to be driving by. So I said to myself, if there was damage to the people who were riding the bus, they're going to want compensation.
Right.
And guess what? They're going to need access to an attorney at that point. They're going to need somebody to fight on their behalf, because the MTA might say, hey, it's not our fault.
Right.
You know,
Blaming
surely it's not the bus driver's fault.
the
You know, it's a freak accident. The tree fell over onto the MTA bus, and it caused a lot of damage, right? But then you might have a situation where maybe, you know, your next door neighbor, they have a dog, and their dog somehow gets loose and he runs over into your yard and he attacks somebody that's in your family. You know, what do? You know, or you have an auntie or uncle and they come over and as they're walking up the steps, they fall down and they injure themselves. What do you do? Or maybe you have a landlord-tenant dispute. I mean, there's so many things that we as everyday working Americans can use legal services for, but we really don't, because what we do is we look at the cost of something versus what we actually deserve. So we look at our wallet and say, hey, you know what? I can't really afford to pay $300, $400, $500 per hour for this matter. So let me just try to sweep it under the rug, or guess what? Go to Uncle Google to see, you know, what my rights are. But what I love about our services is that, you know, one of the things that comes along with our subscription is unlimited consultation. I literally just had a consultation with my attorney over a utility company issue that I'm having. They're doing some research right now on my behalf. I don't have time to do that, but guess what? They do. And I want to go to somebody who specializes in what they specialize in, save my time, my energy, my effort. You give me the wise counsel, and then you allow me now to make a better informed decision. And that's what we offer to folks, because folks are busy, Daniel, and money is tight, you know, and through our service, you can keep your time and you can keep your money, because a lot of the stuff that we have is covered with just a phone call or a letter written on your behalf.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I usually don't ask this again until later, but I think it's purposeful right now. Can you drop that contact info as far as how folks can get in contact with you? If they need
Absolutely,
the service.
absolutely. Yep. So again, social media is Reginald Gant. That's Facebook, that's LinkedIn. But if you wanted to visit the website just to browse around, I'll give them the bit.ly link. The short link
Yeah.
is bit.ly/the Gants, GANTS. So that's bit.ly/the Gants.
And I'll make sure definitely the link is at the bottom of this message, y'all. So now we talked about as far as the cost, which is, hey, it's tax season now. You should be seeing that refund. Set some money aside, y'all. What are some of the benefits though and perks of having you know, a legal plan?
What I love about it the most is it doesn't really take away from everyday life. So my wife and I, we do a lot of shopping. We have, as you read in the bio, 5 children. We have one grown daughter who will be 24 this year. We have 4 boys in the house. So we always shop. So just by having access to our legal shield, we actually have a discounts program. We call it Members Perks. So that gives us access to over 400 vendors across the nation who, because Legal Shield has so many members under their subscription, they're looking to get before those members and offer discounts. So we just bought some movie tickets recently, a family of 6. Just by using our members perks through Legal Shield, we were able to save $27 off of the price of our tickets. We're going to go to the movies anyway.
Right.
We're going to go and spend money on the popcorn and the snacks anyway, and we got discount off the snacks. When we go to shop for our boys, because they're going to need clothes and shoes and all of that anyway, we use our perks. You know, when we need a new laptop for one of the boys, which is what we need, you know, in the next month or so, right? We use our discounts. And that's one of the main reasons. So when I sit down and I talk to folks, so I educate them, I say, you know, if I can show you how to save $50 a month, would you think that your family is worth $50 a month, you know, to go ahead and pick up this peace of mind? And when a person says yes, you know, now I know that they're really serious. But when a person says that, you know, even if I can show them a way to free up money so that they can protect their families, and they still say no to me, that just lets me know that they're not ready yet mentally. And, you know, I'll allow some more time, you know, to pass before maybe a little bit more maturity and wisdom kicks in, because everybody needs this. And I know in my heart, and I feel in my heart, Daniel, that everybody desires to have this. sometimes they just don't have the education that it takes. And that's the biggest part that I've noticed when it comes to legal services, is that in our community, there's really have been no educational push or awareness as to what the services are and why we need them on a daily basis.
Yeah. No. And it's key. And the research just needs to start. We're living in a digital age right now where you can ask Siri, you can ask Google,
Yeah.
make sure that thing don't go off. But you have all these devices that provide to you access to what you're looking for, and it takes the necessity and the time. Schedule the time, folks. 5 to 10 minutes each day. Do your research and background on this stuff. Why the need is for it, and then give Reginald a call. So, but as we continue on, what do you feel is like an ideal candidate for legal services, an ID theft protection? Like, what's the typical age group that you come across? Or in essence, is it for everybody?
So, I would say blanket approach is everyone. When we talk about identity theft, since we have, 4 boys at home that are ages 3 to 13, the oldest two, they're really heavy into technology. So identity theft is for anyone who has small children right now. I mean, we all walk around with a gadget, right, on our hip, right? Our phones. We all have a phone, and it's so scary now that this younger generation has so much access to everything on their phone. You have to have protection on your devices. So if you have children, if you have, whether they're middle school, elementary school, high school age children, it does not matter. As long as you are still the protector, the provider, the guardian for those children, you want to make sure that their identity is protected. You want to make sure that the technology that they use is safeguarded. But I just feel like everybody needs a legal plan. It doesn't matter if you're an individual, it doesn't matter if you are dating, married, engaged. You need protection, because sooner or later, someone is going to try to take advantage of you. Something bad is going to happen, right? Because we know bad things happen to good people. Something unfair is going to happen. You're going to want to know what your rights are, and you deserve to know what your rights are, except for some of us have access to our rights and some of us don't. And, we're out here to level the playing field by offering this service to the masses.
No, that's incredible. And situations come across, especially now. I mentioned digital age before, but these scams are getting more trickier. As far as, especially when it comes to requesting information.
Yeah.
And what's worse, as you point out, is that if you don't have that legal protection or legal backing where you can call somebody up, you're in for a pickle. And then you're going to speak to Uncle Google, who's
Yeah.
going to lead you in the worst direction. You've already got the service once you pay for it. So why not, continue to make utilization of it? It's like, hey, I don't want to get the service and that's it. No, I want to get the service plus all these benefits that come with it. And I think it's highly key that people do it now, and just had that initial conversation with you, man. So thank you for that. Um, we don't got a lot of great in this world. Things may be seem to get better, we seeing Black Lives Matter, but there's still that injustice, what keeps you going? What keeps you motivated, to continue on, to continue to do what you're currently doing right now, man?
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop, until I see more, right? So uh as of right now, our organization, we only roughly protect about 4.5 million lives. And when you look at the amount of people that we have in just the United States alone, we're talking about hundreds of millions of people, right? And anytime you turn on the news, Daniel, we see the same news. Anytime you pick up a paper, uh, I'm a Baltimore City product. I grew up in the inner city Baltimore. And I'm not sure if you're from the Baltimore area, but let's just say that you're not. You've heard of Baltimore,
Right.
right?
In that aspect. Yeah.
Sometimes we've heard of good things, but oftentimes the media will portray the bad parts of Baltimore. And I just feel like as long as we live in a country where men who look like you and I will still be targeted just because of the color of our skin, then we still have more work to do. So in all of our urban communities all around the world, it doesn't matter whether we're here or, it does not matter to me. I feel like I can't stop until Black and brown people have equal access to justice. Because what I've seen to be true over the years, Daniel, is that when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, the color of justice is green, right? And you get just as much justice as you can afford. And for most people, they can't afford any, which is why they don't get any. But through Legal Shield, you actually can have access to justice, because you not only get a lawyer, you get an entire law firm. And not only do you get one law firm, Daniel, you actually get access to law firms in all 50 states and parts of Canada. So just because I live in Maryland and I go to Florida on vacation does not mean that I don't have rights in Florida. For example, if I get a rental car in Florida and I get into an accident in Florida, does that mean I don't have rights because I'm no longer in my home state of Maryland? Absolutely not. But through our service, guess what? When I get into an accident in Florida, I call my law firm in Maryland. They pick up the phone. They call their buddies in Florida. Their buddies in Florida take care of me just like I live there. And I don't have to worry about it. And I offer that to everybody. So guess what? Folks have children that are leaving for college. Some go in state, some go across country. It does not matter. You want to wrap that around your child, because just because your child is not under your roof doesn't mean that they're going to always do the right things. You know, Daniel, think back to when you and I were in college, or we were college age. Did we necessarily always act in a responsible manner? I don't know about you, but I know I did. I went to an HBCU. I know what time it was. You know, so I make sure that if you have children, whether they go to school here or abroad, it does not matter. They need to be protected. If you are Black and brown in this country, you need to have access to protection, bottom line.
1000%, man. 1000%. Listen, it goes back to your motto, which I want to know the reason behind it. And for those that was listening to the bio all the way, I'm gonna say it again. This life motto is simple: serve to be a blessing to others, seek excellence, respect, value every day. Where's your life motto come from, man? And how did you come up with, such key words to lean on daily?
Such a fantastic, Daniel. You the man.
I try to be. Listen, man, suit time for something. The suit
fantastic questions. Fantastic. But I'll tell you, so the word serve came from a dream, and God began to tell me back in 2009 that I would be a leader of leaders and that I would be a leader of men. And Daniel, if I could be honest, in 2009, I was barely leading myself. I was struggling. I was at the lowest moment in life. But God saw something in me, and I had a dream, and I woke up and I wrote down the word serve. I did not know what serve meant, but I wrote it down in my journal. And in the years to come, God revealed to me that I would start an organization and that I should name it Serve. And that the core principles of Serve would be around excellence, respect, and value. Right? So when I say those words, like, those are things that we should be chasing after daily. Right now, we're teaching our sons that if you're going to do anything, right, you might as well be excellent at it, or don't even waste your time. Why would you waste your time doing something only to be average? Right? So every day that we wake up, we seek excellence. We chase after excellence. The R is respect, right? Respect the fact that you woke up this morning. Daniel, somebody went to bed last night. They didn't cross over today, right? But we did. That means that God still has a purpose for us. He still has a plan for us. So every day you operate with a level of respect that, you know what, I don't know if I have another 24 hours. Let me maximize today. And then that V stands for value. We add value everywhere we go. I tell my children all the time, things and people should be better after an encounter with you. So every day that we wake up, we chase after excellence, respect, and value. And that's been my life's motto for a long time. And I plan to live that out until the Lord calls me home.
Ladies and gentlemen, words from a king, King Reginald Gant. Thank you, sir. Thank you. No, I really appreciate it. And I value, everything that you laid down for us today on this show. Any parting words as we close out here today, man?
Yeah, so, your greatness unleashed is what this world is waiting for. So to the man or woman that's listening to this podcast right now, it's your greatness unleashed that this world is waiting for. But I do have one question for you. How long are you going to keep us waiting?
Solid, man. King Reginald, thank you again so much for being on the RNG radio show. Really appreciate you. And definitely looking forward to you come back on, man.
Absolutely. My honor. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you for tuning in to the RNG Radio Show. Be sure to like and subscribe for more episodes and future content. If you'd like to learn more, visit us at danielumstead.com. Stay blessed, my fellow millionaires.